My name's Anthony Madrid, and I'm an assistant professor at the University of A&M-Victoria. And the book that I selected is D.H. Lawrence's The Rainbow. A lot of the books for Banned Books Week were never really banned. They were just challenged by parents and things like that. But this, anyway, is a genuine case of a book that was banned, seized, and burnt in 1915 when it came out. That's why first editions of it are really especially rare D.H. Lawrence books, because only a few of them got out before the courts got involved, and it began a kind of unhappy relationship between D.H. Lawrence and censorship laws. And the reason why the book was banned is because of sexual themes that are in it. D.H. Lawrence is famous for those. Anyway, so I'm very devoted to this book, The Rainbow. This right here is the Supremo edition of it from Cambridge University Press. But that's not my marked copy. My marked copy is this one, which is the one that I've read a couple of times, and I have favorite bits underlined. And the piece that, the part I want to read, there are many, many things that would be suitable for banned books presentations out of this, but I'll do one that's actually a little bit unrepresentative. This is sort of, this is not a case of people being into each other and sexual feelings and stuff that have a hostility aspect. This is more kind of blissed out thing, and the reason why it would be banned is because what passes here is between two young women. Which of course in 1915 was like hardly to be mentioned, let alone written about in detail. So what happens here is there's a young woman who's the main character of the second half of the book, whose name is Ursula Brangwyn, and she is a straight girl, and the rest of her erotic life in the sequel to The Rainbow, which is called Women in Love, is all invested in men. But when she's young, she has a kind of, she doesn't fully recognize it to herself, crush on her teacher, who's a young woman a little bit older than her, Miss Inger. So I'll read you like what happens as the crush comes into bloom. And this is in the chapter that's called Shame. I forget why it's called Shame. The summer term came, and with it the swimming class. Miss Inger was to take the swimming class. Then Ursula trembled and was dazed with passion. Her hopes were soon to be realized. She would see Miss Inger in her bathing dress. The day came. In the great bath, the water was glimmering pale emerald green, a lovely glimmering mass of color within the whitish marble-like confines. Overhead, the light fell softly, and the great green body of pure water moved under it as someone dived from the side. Ursula, trembling, hardly able to contain herself, pulled off her clothes, put on her tight bathing suit, and opened the door of her cabin. Two girls were in the water. The mistress had not appeared. She waited. A door opened. Miss Inger came out, dressed in a rust-red tunic like a Greek girl's, tied round the waist, and a red silk handkerchief round her head. How lovely she looked! Her knees were so white and strong and proud, and she was firm-bodied as Diana. She walked simply to the side of the bath, and with a negligent movement flung herself in. For a moment Ursula watched the white, smooth, strong shoulders and the easy swimming. Then she too dived into the water. Now, she was swimming in the same water with her dear mistress. The girl moved her limbs voluptuously and swam by herself deliciously, yet with the craving of unsatisfaction. She wanted to touch the other, to touch her, to feel her. "I will race you, Ursula," came the well-modulated voice. Ursula started violently. She turned to see the warm, unfolded face of her mistress looking at her. To her, she was acknowledged. Laughing her own beautiful startled laugh, she began to swim. The mistress was just ahead, swimming with easy strokes. Ursula could see the head put back, the water flickering upon the white shoulders, the strong legs kicking shadowily. And she swam blinded with passion. Ah, the beauty of the firm, white, cool flesh. Ah, the wonderful, firm limbs. If she could but hold them, hug them, press them between her own small breasts. Ah, if she did not so despise her own thin, dusky fragment of a body. If only she, too, were fearless and capable. She swam on eagerly, not wanting to win, only wanting to be near her mistress, to swim in a race with her. They neared the end of the bath, the deep end. Miss Inger touched the pipe, swung herself round, and caught Ursula round the waist in the water and held her for a moment against herself. The bodies of the two women touched, heaved against each other for a moment, then they were separate. "I won," said Miss Inger, laughing. There was a moment of suspense. Ursula's heart was beating so fast she clung to the rail and could not move. Her dilated, warm, unfolded, glowing face turned to the mistress as if to her very son. "Goodbye," said Miss Inger, and she swam away to the other pupils, taking professional interest in them. Ursula was dazed. She could still feel the touch of the mistress's body against her own. Only this, only this. The rest of the swimming time passed like a trance. When the call was given to leave the water, Miss Inger walked down the bath towards Ursula. Her rust-red thin tunic was clinging to her. The whole body was defined, firm, and magnificent, as it seemed to the girl. "I enjoyed our race, Ursula. Did you?" said Miss Inger. The girl could only laugh with revealed, open, glowing face. The love was now tacitly confessed. But it was some time before any further progress was made. Ursula continued in suspense, in inflamed bliss. That's my passage for Banned Book Week.